it's recording.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this is Paul, and my name is Ara or Sarah Jane, depending on what circle of people we run around in. And this video is going to be a tutorial accompaniment to the handout that is linked in this particular blog entry. So this is a handout that I saved in Google Drive, and honestly I would encourage you to print it out because when you go to do the actual space clearing, I don't think consulting a screen is going to be the best use of your time. So if you have a hard copy, go ahead and make it. You can take notes if you wish while I'm talking about it, and as we walk through it, and then you can have it available for you when it's time to do the space clearing. So about this method, this is a method that came from a variety of sources. Probably in the early days, this is the book that I got the majority of the technique from. It's called Creating Sacred Space with Feng Shui by Karen Kingston. It was published in 1997, and I actually bought this in a real bookstore.
Wow.
Wow. Remember those? So that is a great resource to kind of get you going, but please know that this method that I've developed comes from other books, it comes from articles, it comes from lectures online. In other words, it comes from just experience. And so while this method won't exactly mirror what is in that book, I like my method because it's easy, it's cheap, and I know it works. So the analogy that I bring up at the start of this document is the image of a blackboard. So when I think about space clearing, I think about a blackboard, like your home is like an energetic blackboard, and you're always writing on it, you're always talking in it, you're always arguing in it, you're always making love in it. Like there's lots of things happening in your home, in your energetic blackboard. And so space clearing is a technique to basically clean your blackboard, right? And to erase all the messages that you've been accumulating and to write new messages. And of course, any good blackboard, any good home, you're going to be using it and living in it, and so it requires maintenance. So this isn't a hit it and quit it kind of deal. This is something that you're going to do ongoing, maybe monthly, maybe quarterly, maybe once a year, maybe once every few years. It's up to you. Now, our house that we're in right now is about 100 years old, and so our blackboard is kind of inherently got the energy of like decades of people that lived here prior to us. And so we have places I feel like where the energy really sticks and pools, and we kind of have to work on.
It's like those blackboards where like you can't erase everything completely.
Yeah.
There's a little shadow of something there.
So that's our adventure, living in a 100-year-old home. So, if your home is newer, it shouldn't be as challenging. Before you begin space clearing, two very important things. Number one, you must declutter. You must declutter your home, your closets, your drawers, your kitchen. You must declutter. You must get rid of the things in your life that don't serve you anymore. You must take your things to the Goodwill, pile your stuff for a garage sale, whatever you need to do, but you must declutter. The second thing that you must do is you must clean. You must clean, you must mop, you must vacuum, move the fridge, move the stove, clean out the junk drawer, do all your closets, clean, take the vacuum and get all the corners, clean your home. Without these two things, I guess you can do space clearing, but you're gonna do space clearing on a bunch of dirty stuff that you don't want. So it doesn't really seem like a fruitful experience. And so you're welcome to do that, I suppose, if you wish, but I don't think you're going to be happy with the space clearing results if you don't declutter and clean first. Okay. All that's out of the way. Here we go. Preliminary instructions. I have these here for a reason. Number one, remove your jewelry from your body. I'm talking about your rings, the necklace that you always wear, your earrings. Get it all off of your body, because metals hold a charge. Metals hold energy. And you're going to be stirring up a lot of energy in your home, and you don't want to then travel with it on your jewelry. You want to take it off, you want to put it in a safe space, and you want to not have any jewelry on your body. Okay. Second preliminary instruction, also very important. Anytime you're doing the clapping, we're going to get to that. You'll know what I'm talking about. I want you to wash your hands and your arms. Wash all the way up to your elbows when you do this. Of course, you know, hand washing is in vogue now, so you should be really accustomed to doing it. It's important because when you stir up the energy, again, you're stirring it up within your body, and hand washing, arm washing, if anything, is a symbolic sort of cleansing of that stirring up of energy. Want you to be sure to breathe. Don't hold your breath while you're doing this, and I want you to drink lots of water. So have yourself a glass of water that you are constantly drinking from. Okay, so the method. First of all, you got to set up. There's some preliminary stuff that you got to do. I would allow at least a couple hours for this whole excursion, this whole adventure. You're going to set up. And step one, I've got it in the handout, as you will see, in 10 steps. So step one, you are going to assess and feel your house. You're going to move in a clockwise direction, starting at the front door. So you're going to stand in your front door, looking into your home, and you are going to move in a clockwise direction, simply assessing your home. So follow the perimeter of the first room, and follow the perimeter of the second room, and follow the perimeter of the third and the fourth and the fifth, and make your way around your whole house until you are back at your front door. And what are you assessing? Well, you're going to be looking at temperature changes. How does the room sound? How does the closet feel? Maybe you didn't know that your refrigerator made that noise exactly, constantly at a low hum all the time. You're going to notice things about your living space, and I want to encourage you to drop the judgment. Simply observe as if your home was a living, breathing organism, part of your life. Newsflash, it is. Mm-hmm. It is. It's actually an extension of you and the people that live there. So assess your home in a clockwise direction. Notice anything that you notice. Step two, I want you to gather all of the supplies necessary for this. And the supplies are listed at the very end of the paperwork. And it's pretty basic. You're going to have some small disposable pans, one per room. You're going to have some salt that you need. Let's see, you're going to have 90% or higher alcohol, isopropyl alcohol. You're going to need that. You're going to need matches or a lighter. Okay, you're going to need rose water. This is what I use right here. You can also make your own rose water or holy water, but this is just as easy if you don't mind running to Whole Foods or a health store for the rose water. It's very effective. You're going to have your altar supplies. What's that? Well, you're going to have a cloth, a doily, or I use napkins because they're really easy. On top of that, you're going to put a plate. With a flower and with a candle and maybe some stones, and you're going to build little altars. We'll get into that in a moment. You're going to have your altars. You're going to have bells. I have a number of bells that I work with. You can get any kind of bell. We got singing bowls. Okay, we got these loud ones. I've also got kind of this cowbell sort of vibe. You get the idea. There's lots of different kinds of bells, so I wouldn't encourage you to stress out too much about it. Really, you just need one bell. You don't actually need 5 like me. So you're going to set up your base camp. And what that is typically I use my dining room table because it's really big. You really make it a big staging area for all of your supplies, your bells, your alcohol, your salt. You can put it all there, and you can build your big main altar. And while you're there, go ahead and build a little mini altar for each room. So that's where you pull out the little plate concept, and you build, our home has 11 rooms. And so we need the one big altar in the dining room, and then we need 10 of these little mini altars. in each of the rooms. So you're going to build all of your altars, and you're going to go ahead and place an altar in each of the rooms. You're going to light the candles on all of the altars, and ideally, now this isn't possible in every home. It's actually not possible in this home, although I try every time I do space clearing, either here or at another place. You ideally want to connect the flames. So like if you imagine that you're the flame of one candle, you want to be able to like look to the next room and connect your flame with the next flame and the next flame, and so that in theory in our home all 11 flames would connect. The reason why that's interesting and important is because I think that it creates kind of like a fire light grid in your home, that sort of like boom, like they're holding down the space. These little points of flames are holding down the space for the space clearing, for the activity, the sacred activity that you are about to begin. So once you have everything set up, you've got your big main station, you've got all your little mini altars set up, then you begin the purification methods. The first purification method is probably the most disruptive. This is a method that is all about stirring the energy. This method is loud and proud and annoying, and you do it counterclockwise because you really want to go against the natural order. You want to pet the cat the wrong way. You want to brush the carpet the wrong way. You really want to stir up the energy in your space. And so we've got two ways to do that. The first way is with a rattle. Rattles are incredibly effective. I first started using a rattle regularly when I burned my hands and I couldn't clap, because the second method is clapping. And so what you do with this method is, again, you move counterclockwise and you start again at your front door and you follow the perimeter of each room in turn, clapping or rattling, floor to ceiling, floor to ceiling, floor to ceiling. It's very disruptive to the dust bunnies, to the mites, to the spiders, to the spider webs, to the energy of your space. You are stirring it up, folks. Step number 4 is another purification method. This is purifying through salt. There's a few ways to do it. The most simplistic way is to take one of these pans and simply pour some Epsom salt in and just set it in the room and let it sit there for 24 hours. The salt will attract all of the goopy energy that you've stirred up. The salt, you can't use it after that. So if you do that method, very simple, there's no burning, no fire, no alcohol involved. You simply set it in each room and you let it sit there for a couple of days and let it absorb, and then toss it. Method number 2 is the one that I actually prefer and that is incredibly effective. You take a couple of tablespoons of Epsom salt. You take about a tablespoon of alcohol, again 90% or higher, otherwise the salt won't burn. And you set that on a safe surface. It will get hot, but it's not going to burn a hole in the book or burn a hole in your carpet or anything, but I like to put it on something just so that I know it's flat and stable. And you literally light that on fire. In fact, should we just do it?
Let's just do it.
Let's just do it. Why not? I'll just show you how this works. So again, I've just poured about a tablespoon of salt into the pan. And then I'm taking my isopropyl alcohol and I'm just gonna pour, not very much, that much, okay? Maybe a teaspoon, maybe a tablespoon, not very much. And then I'm gonna put the lid back on the alcohol because that's just smart. Again, I've got my hard surface here. You just gonna hold it?
Yep.
All right, so it's on fire. And what this is doing is this is actually burning the salt. So, I guess it's the alcohol burning, but I'm watching the salt, and the salt is actually burning as well. This is going to burn for like a couple of minutes. Again, as long as you don't dribble alcohol outside of your pan, as long as it's on a sturdy surface, this is going to burn easy peasy. I'm just going to set it next to the computer here on the piano bench. Maybe you can hear it and see it burning. That's just going to burn itself out. It's no big deal. Again, each room gets one of these burning salt pans, and you just very systematically, no nonsense, you go from room to room to room to room. You light your pans. You go to the next, you light your next pan, and you keep checking on them. You want to make sure that everything is safe. You want to maybe have a pitcher of water with you just for fun in case things get crazy. But these typically burn out very quickly and safely. Again, don't be an idiot. Use your best judgment. So that's purifying through salt. Step number 5, this is another purification method. This is going to be with sage or Palo Santo. It's your choice. Neither one of them are, native to Texas. And so, we can get lost in how unpolitically correct it is, I guess, to use sage and Palo Santo as a white woman in Texas. I'm sorry, I'll get off my box now. But let's just say they work. I don't know what else to say about it. Like, they work and they're tried and true. I'm not making up that smudging is a thing. It is legit. You can ask lots and lots and lots of cultures and spiritually inclined people about smudging. I'm here to tell you it works. Moving in a clockwise direction, smudge your space. So again, stand at the front door. Smudging with Palo Santo is very easy. You simply hold it and light the end, and you want to keep the flame going long enough for it to actually catch fire. And then you simply use your mind and use your imagination to watch the smoke go into the corner, to watch the smoke go into the closet, underneath everything. You want to be careful. This is hot. This will burn you. Hello, again, don't be an idiot. But smudging, you can use, again, Palo Santo. You can use sage. You can use cedar. You can use incense, whatever you wish. You just want to, again, use your mind to watch the smudging material make its way into your space. So that is the next purification. The next purification, step number 6. This is purifying with holy water or rose water. Same thing, clockwise direction. Take the rose water and simply spray. Move to another section. Spray. It smells good, huh? Mm-hmm. Oh my God, it's so nice. Anyway, the rose water is the next purification modality after the smudging. Finally, number 7. This is purification with bells. So we've used smoke, we've used fire, we've used the sense of smell and water. Now it's time to use sound. So we use the rattling and the clapping to disrupt the energy in your space. Now you're going to use sound to soothe and to seal your space. And so again, clockwise direction with the natural order. You are going to follow the perimeter of each room. I have many bells that I use. Again, I showed you like the assortment that I have. One of my favorites is this one. And again, you stand at your front door and you take a few steps clockwise direction and you do it again. And you simply use your imagination to, again, sort of experience the sound waves permeating your space. So permeating your walls, permeating your furniture. This isn't about disrupting. This is about permeating, right? And so the bells are incredibly effective. And I would encourage you to use the bells a lot in the closets. That's actually one of the places that when you start dinging the bells in your closets, it takes a couple dings, but suddenly things sound a lot crisper and a lot clearer. It's the weirdest thing. And so do the bells clockwise direction throughout your entire space. At this point, you've gone through your home once counterclockwise and now several times clockwise. You are like really intimate with your space at this point. Step number 8. This is about shielding. Shielding is an interesting concept because it doesn't have a physical element to it in the sense of rose water and bells. Instead, it is purely It is purely energetic. It is purely psychic. It is purely imaginative. And what I do is I stand at my front door and I imagine pink light, like literally my right arm is like a sword of pink light. And I stand at my front door, and in a clockwise direction, I face the next obvious corner, and I literally like summon all my powers of imagination and intention with pink light, and I literally just shield with my arm. It's kind of corny, but for some reason it feels like once you've gone through your whole house and you've done this shielding, so you go to the next corner, you shield to the next corner, you go to that corner, you shield to the next corner, you go to that corner, you shield to the next corner, and you do your entire house. It has a feeling of like creating almost like a pink bubble or force field or dome or something around the house. That's when I'm done doing it, that's always the image I get, is sort of like a pink dome, like a force field. I don't know what else to call it. It's pretty cool. And so that's step number 8, shielding. Step number 9, this is where you go and you assess your house one more time. I recommend moving counterclockwise for this motion because you want to go back through one last time. Okay, you've done a lot of work. It's been a couple hours now. You've burned stuff. You've got sage going. Your house smells amazing. But you want to go through one more time and go counterclockwise. And if there's any place that still feels a little out of order, or like maybe needs a little bit more clapping or rattling or something, this is your opportunity to do it. Don't let this opportunity pass you by. So go through one more time and clap out or purify anything that your gut tells you that you need to do. And then finally, this is step 10. Your blackboard is clean. Now is your opportunity to set your intentions, to say them out loud. If you sing, this is a great time to sing a song or a hymn in your space. It's a great time to recite a poem or a prayer. It's a wonderful time while you're home, while your blackboard, your energetic blackboard is clear and clean, to consciously write something on it and allow the first time that your vocal cords vibrate out of your throat to be words that you want to live by, and that you want your furniture and furnishings and floor and ceilings and sheetrock and materials to live by. So that is space clearing in 10 steps. It'll take a couple hours depending on your house. Our house is like 1,400 square feet, so it's very small. And it takes us a couple hours when we do it. Been doing it for ages and ages. The kids used to help when they were little. Kids love it, pets love it. They're going to be real interested in whatever it is you're doing. Again, put your phone away, use a hard copy when you're doing this, because staring at a screen while you're space clearing is incredibly distracting and not helpful. This is a regular, ongoing part of your personal hygiene. You're going to feel the effects after this first time for sure, almost guaranteed. But you should know that when you meditate in your home regularly, that helps buoy the pink dome, I guess. We do this several times a year. Do it as often as it feels right, and just know that this is, just like you have to clean your toilet every once in a while, you got to space clear every once in a while. This isn't like a one-time thing. This is a new part of your cleaning and clearing reality. So finally, the supplies are all listed on the handout. Again, I've got a link to the Google Doc in this blog post and below this video if you're watching it on YouTube, because I think that's where I'm going to upload it. I've never actually uploaded a video to YouTube, so this is the maiden voyage. Finally, I have a Skeptics Challenge to offer. So if you think this is bullshit, listen, that's fine by me. I don't care. Go your own way, friends. But just for fun, you can test this. Do one room in your home. do your office perhaps, do your bedroom, maybe do your living room, do one room, that's it, don't do anything else, and see and feel the difference for yourself. You'll be scrambling to do your whole house in no time, guaranteed. So if you have any further questions about the process, again, I would encourage you, if you're super into this like me, thank you, Paul, get the book. Otherwise, the handout will suffice. You're welcome to email me. If you're watching this, maybe we've done it in your home, because I've certainly done this in lots and lots and lots and lots of my friends' homes. I've taught lots of people how to do this. Did it in my daughter's apartment when she moved in. Friends, colleagues, all kinds of people. I've done it in strangers' homes because I was called to come out. Happy to answer your questions, but really, at the end of the day, I want to empower you to do this on your own, in your own home, for your health and vitality, especially now. I think, this coronavirus business is really begging us to clean our homes and to clean up our acts and to get our houses in order. And so, yes, it's about decluttering, and yes, it's about cleaning, but also I think it's equally important that you clear some of this fear and this anxiety that is sort of oozing out of all of us in an ongoing way. This technique actually directly addresses that within your own home. Because if you don't address it, guess what? You're just living in it. You're going to continue to stew in it. I'd encourage you to get in there and clean your blackboard and take each day fresh, take each day new, and hang in there. Are we good?
We are good.
Do you think we covered it?
I think we covered it.
Okay. Enjoy. Good luck. Hit me up if you have any questions or need an encouraging word. Happy to help.